Madam Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Combs. Present. Mr. Hinchey. Mr. Luther. Present. Ms. Nelson. Present. Ms. Reclue. Present. Ms. Sabacher. Here. Mr. Stone.
Present.
Mr. Washington. 7 council members present. We have quorum.
Thank you. Reverend, will you have the invocation for us, please?
Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, in the midst of a beautiful season, we come tonight as a community to continue the work that moves us forward together, and for all who lead this city, all of our administrative staff, our mayor and council persons, and those that are on the ground every day throughout our community, keeping us safe, protecting us from the woes of this world, and maintaining our thoroughfares and our infrastructures. They're all vital folks, vital to our progress and our safety every day, and we are grateful for the city family. Amongst those, Lord, are some who need your continual, perpetual care each day. I'm grateful for what you've done for Mrs. Reclue and others within our city family who have faced affliction and other trials. We all celebrate, Lord, your grace for them. I'm thankful for those that have come from the larger community to participate. That is a very good thing for any governing body, so we're grateful for their presence. We pray tonight for those who keep us safe and defend our Constitution and flag throughout the world, especially those that are deployed during this holiday season, and apart from many of them have young families and children. We also thank you, God, for our first responders, our police officers and firefighters in our local community, county, state, and nation. Lord, bless those that allow us to go home at night in relative safety and peace. We pray for this session tonight and the work that's done, the discussions that are held, and the decisions, if any, be made. We pray that first you approve and they are pleasing to you. We thank you for all of this and these through Christ our Lord. Amen. Face the flag. Attention, salute, and pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Merry Christmas to all of you, and I look forward to 2024 with you together.
Thank you, sir. You too. Okay, next we'll have comments from visitors.
Bless you and yours.
Please come to the microphone, state your name and address, and try to keep it around 3 minutes or less.
Good evening. My name is Dave Hollabaugh. I am a private pilot. I'm the treasurer of the Kingdom Pilots Association, and I'm a renter of Hangar 19 out at the airport. And here to talk briefly about some concerns about potential rate increase for hangar rent at the airport. The first concern I have is that the proposed methodology is based strictly on increases in the consumer price index without any human intervention. And I think that may be a little more rigid than what we need, and think it needs to be a little more human judgment involved in future rate increases. The proposed methodology does not address hangar rents at nearby airports, similar airports to Fulton, such as Moberly, Macon, Boonville, Mexico, those types of airports. And I think a good thorough survey of rental rates at similar airports would be useful in trying to establish rates for Elton Hensley Airport. City's proposing to increase our rental rates on property that is both depreciating and deteriorating as it ages. So we've got, arguably the value of the property to us going down, and yet we're proposing an increase in rates to pay for that. You may not know this, but with Kyle's permission, individual renters are able to make improvements to their hangars, okay? So I've improved the lighting in my hangar. We've had people improve electrical outlets, install shelving, install workspaces, heating and cooling equipment, and those improvements stay with the hangar once, the renter vacates the hangar and is no longer using it. So arguably, the pilots that are renting these hangars are making improvements and increasing the value of those hangars. What we're talking about here is increasing revenue to the airport, okay? I think we need to look at other methods of increasing revenue to the airport as well as hangar rent. For example, the soccer park pays $800 a year to rent the soccer park property. Now, that's 20 acres of property with improvements, okay? And it seems to me that rental rate is significantly undervalued, and I don't think it's the role of the airport to subsidize Parks and Rec with an $800 a year rent for the soccer park. It's just a question, and I don't know the answer. Are we proposing similar structure for future rent increases for other city facilities? Let's say the Recplex, for example, okay? I don't know the answer to that, but I wouldn't like to see us single out the airport with a rigid methodology for hangar rent increases and not be looking at that for other city facilities. Another source of revenue for the airport is the hay rental and the crop rental at the airport. Now, I don't know how many crop rental bids were submitted at the last time it was awarded, but I do know that there were only 2 bids submitted for rental of the hay property, okay? I've got 40 acres of pasture 5 miles south of Fulton that I rent, and I know pasture land and
Mr. Hollaball, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt. That was 3 minutes.
okay.
Thank you.
Actually, I'm questioning whether we're getting our money's worth for that, okay? The mayor did say approximately 3 minutes.
Yes, sir. Could I have your address, please? And I'm sorry, sir, that's all the time we're allowed.
Okay.
Thank you.
So really, I think, other than addressing some existing safety concerns with some lighting that's not working at the airport, that's all my remarks. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Could I have your address, please? I know that you ran out the hangar. That's perfect, then I'll take that.
8525 Pitcher, Pitcher
Put your lane here.
Road
Put your row.
in
Thank you.
Fulton. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's outside the city limits, but it is.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hopefully it hasn't started yet.
No, sir.
My name's Dave Lorenz. Address is 5179 Chandler Road here in Fulton, Missouri. I moved here in 2007, have a business here in Callaway County, have warehouses in Callaway County, Sedalia, main headquarters in Moberly now, and I also have warehouses in Kirksville. I have a philosophy that money goes where it's best treated. And, and looking at some of the prices, some of the other towns, hangar rents and stuff, we're kind of at near the top of where most of the rents are. And I would like to see the city and the county do everything it can to bring in new businesses, bring in people who are successful and who desire to grow the community as opposed to kind of pressuring those folks out of town. And when you're going to be at the top of the scale, I think that's kind of what you're doing. And so, like I said, my main headquarters is in Moberly. I'm already on a waiting list for a hangar up there, and I've made my home in Fulton, and I'd like to stay here, and just like for you guys to really think long and hard about raising our rents and doing it on a regular basis so that we are well and above the prevailing rates in the rest of the community in the mid-Missouri area. So.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jennifer DeLashmutt. I'm at 3405 County Road 328 in Fulton. I came the last meeting and just had the basics as far as with Mexico and Moberly and their rates. I brought by sheets, it was either Thursday or Friday, to the office here and was asked that they were given to you guys so you would have the same information that I had. I don't know if that happened, but after that meeting, I proceeded to find airports similar to Fulton, find out their hangar rate, whether they're attended during the day, if they have auto weather, if they have parallel runways, and if they have courtesy cars or not. We are one of the only few, there's a couple that may be missing auto weather or parallel runways, but our airport is not attended by an employee in the FBO throughout the week, nor does it have auto weather or parallel runways, and we are at the highest part. Our current hangar rent for a T hangar is $180. Comparable prices, you're looking at more touristy areas like Branson. I mean, they're higher than us, but otherwise, everybody else is below us. And so if we go and raise the rates on these hangars, we are gonna slowly be pricing ourselves out of the market, and even some of our local people who, maybe they're in Columbia, well, Moberly's just as close, and if they can go up there and get cheaper rent, we're gonna lose fuel cells there. There's other parts to the area we can lose. I do have copies, if you guys did not get them, if you would like the rent from around the area.
I just want to add, Jennifer, that we did send that out to all the council after you dropped that off. You're welcome.
Good evening. My name is Lance Campbell. I'm 4601 Nathaniel Drive, Columbia, Missouri. I'm a private pilot and renting a hangar out at the Fulton Airport as well. I'd like to bring a little different perspective to the hangar rate issue that might be a little larger in scope. Jennifer did a great job of summarizing our competitive elements here in mid-Missouri. I've been involved with and have worked with and flown at air shows all over the Midwest for the last 30 years, from Minnesota to Mississippi. And I've worked with a lot of those airports managers, and I've seen all different airports at different areas of the spectrum, from an airport that seems to have their act together, it's thriving, it's involved, there's a lot of activity, there's a lot of revenue that comes in and out of that airport. I've seen other airports that are at the other end of that spectrum, that have 1/3 occupancies, and they're somewhat derelict. So there is a wide spectrum out there, and I've worked with all of them. The part that concerns me about this, while $20, $30, $40 a month doesn't seem like much, and it isn't, my concern in the long term is it's like turning an ocean liner. It takes a long time to turn it, but once you get it turning and going in a direction, it keeps going in that direction. And I've spoken with many of airport managers that look back over their shoulders from 10 years prior and say, we went from having 10 people on a waiting list trying to get a hangar to, rates went up a little bit, and then, okay, now we're caught up on the list and, we're full occupancy too. Well, now we've got about 1/3 open. Well, now we've got room in case someone wants a hangar that's available. Well, now we're only half full, and you reach a certain point to where, the federal funding from an FAA perspective is connected to how many takeoff and landings come and go out of it. And you kind of get that ocean liner going in the wrong direction you don't have the full occupancy, you don't have the full activities going on, and now the revenue is connected to that. So it's almost this self-fulfilling negativity that can feed into that. So that's my largest concern. I'm out at Fulton. I love the airport. I think it's great, and I thoroughly enjoy the facility. I just want to make sure that, we're not looking over our shoulders 10 to 15 years from now and kind of scratching our heads. It's like, well, what went sideways? So that would be my concern. Thank you for your time.
Anyone else?
Good evening. My name's Steve Windling, and I reside at 2012 Chapel Ridge Road in Columbia. I too am a private pilot, rent a hangar at the airport, and then I'm also on the Airport Advisory Board. So I'm not going to reiterate things that have been said because of short timing. But I would like to, first of all, thank the city, because it seems like the last couple of years, we've developed a better working relationship with the airport group and the city administration. So I thank you for that. Second of all, I'll get right to the rent thing. Having a rent increase is not necessarily a bad idea. I do agree with the previous statements, though, that when you compare our amenities with other airports, even though we have a great airport, it's going to continue to be that way, I believe, that the amenities don't stack up. So with the rates, I don't believe they should increase at this time. And I also think that basing it on the CPI, and I am a commercial real estate broker, I understand it, and I deal with that all the time. But from a standpoint of based on consumer price index, we're dealing with a lot of people that are hobbyists in the airport and so they don't understand how that works. And there's also a number of things that go into that consumer price index. So if the economy tanks, then it's not going to do anything but then create those vacancies that are going to be in there. Now putting on my airport advisory board hat, since I'm up here, like I said, they've been doing a great job on the last couple of previous years. But as a member of the advisory board for several years, I've asked for information, and I've not been able to get it, for which I've asked continually about financial statements to see exactly where the airport lies when it comes to balance sheets and cash flow statements. There always seems to be an air of mystery about what went where. I've asked about airport insurance policies, specifically when we had the hangars destroyed, and asked about what happens with the insurance policy and the proceeds, or in the airplanes that were also destroyed with it. Where'd those proceeds go? I would have thought it would have gone back to repair, or at least to remove the concrete where the old hangars were, but that those funds were never disclosed as to what happened to them, if there were any. So there's not been good transparency in proceedings from the airport advisory standpoint. I do want to emphasize that the most recent administration, not the current, but the most recent, moved forward to help close that gap between the airport and the people around it. And I think that the newest administration, as per the information I'm getting from Kyle, is even going to be more so. Don't know who they are, so I'm not trying to butter anybody up. But with that said, I think the financial information that we have been requesting to be on the advisory board, to be able to give good, prudent information from a business standpoint, I think is imperative. Otherwise, it's a front for that. So I'd be happy personally to meet or answer questions at any time. Live in Columbia, but I can come over here all the time because there happens to be an airport here. So if anybody'd like to meet with me, I'd be more than happy to. And I know you're not going to ask me questions right now, but I'm going to offer myself for questions. I'll be here at the end. If you have any, I'd
Thank
be
you,
more than
Mr.
happy
Brindley.
to
That's our
settle.
3 minutes. Thank you. Yes, sir. You did great.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'm Jonathan Adams, 4002 Iguana Drive, Columbia, Missouri. I appreciate you guys' time tonight. I'm a tenant at Fulton Airport, also the president of the Kingdom Pilots Association, if you're familiar with it. I currently have 3 aircraft at Fulton Airport, 1 without a hangar, and want to shed a little different light on the rent increases and second everything everybody has said previous to this. Currently, there's only 1 business on the field at Fulton Airport. I know of at least 2 other businesses that would like to be there, one of which is my own. I'd like to start it. Well, I've started it. It's just I would like to be based out of Fulton Airport with an agricultural aviation business, crop dusting, for lack of better words. But the increases and the fact that we are currently more expensive than anyone in the area for land leases is concerning. I can tell you as a data point, there's been at least 1 other business that has approached Fulton, and once deep enough into the land lease discussion, chose to go to Moberly because it was 50% less expensive to build a 100 by 100 foot hangar up there, where they currently house 6 aircraft that fly every day for flight training. So missed opportunity. But I'd like to keep my business here, or I should say build a hangar here and have my business here because I like Fulton Airport. And I know there's at least another business that's interested as well. But I just want you to take that into consideration as you guys discuss further the hangar, the costs. And to piggyback on what Dave said, as far as hangar improvements, I'm one of those tenants that's improved my hangar. And just to give quantitative perspective, I put a $4,000 heating unit in my hangar and about a $2,500 office that I built out so that I could start to begin to function as a business there. So that's improvements that I fully understand will be left on the premise, if I leave. But, to continue to increase the rates, especially at a scheduled interval tied to a CPI, it stifles my want to continue to improve the property. So anyways, that's all I have. Just take into consideration that there are businesses that would like to be there, that are above and beyond just the tenants that are using it for hobby general aviation. Thanks.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have no concerns, and my apologies, I do not have my notes with me for our Public Safety Commission meeting that we held. I will get those and email those to the other council as quickly as I can. My apologies. Other than that, I don't have anything.
Thank you. Councilwoman Reclus?
Yes, the only thing I have is I'd like to thank the gentleman for coming in and letting us know a few things that are going on that we could possibly help. And I appreciate you coming in tonight. Thank you. And that's all I have tonight.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Stone?
Yes, no concerns this evening. I do have one suggestion for something that we can consider later on. It doesn't need to be part of the budget discussion tonight. But I believe that Pastor Williamson does an excellent job serving our city and serving our council. And I think we need to consider an honorarium for him, a monthly honorarium, that for the service that he provides us. He's here at almost every single meeting to serve the city. So, thank you. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Luther?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. There has been no airport advisory board since our last council meeting, though we have and continue to have meetings and discussions around rate increases. And I do, again, reiterate some of the initial comments, appreciation for our fellow citizens coming in, sharing the concerns, shining a new light on some of the challenges ahead. Also appreciation for some of the teamwork that's been mentioned and some improvements you've seen there. So we'll thank you again and continue, hopefully, work with the city, and hopefully we can continue to build our airport and make it something great and not look back 10 years from now and hopefully regret some of these decisions. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Combs?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. The Planning and Zoning Commission has not met since our last meeting. And yeah, I'll again echo just the appreciation of you guys coming in and sharing your insight, your expertise. It's not something that I have in terms of an airport, so I like learning more.
Thank you. Councilman Washington?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No, nothing at this time.
Okay. Councilwoman Nelson?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I have no concerns tonight, and the utility board has not met since the last council meeting.
Thank you. I too want to say I'm glad you come in and express your concerns, and I think we'll certainly take a look at those and see what we can do. you have anything?
No, while we're on it, I'll echo that as well. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you guys out front before the meeting, and I think that there are opportunities for us to take a look at some of those rates and make sure that you guys are more integrally involved in that moving ahead. That's all.
And I see no reason why we can't give you the information you want. I don't know why that wasn't done, but Kyle, do you know anything about that?
I think, or at least I hope, Steve's comments were talked about previous past years.
Okay.
I've tried to be as transparent as I can be with the information that I have and feel that I've done so, usually at every advisory board meeting. I don't want to say every advisory board meeting, but almost all of them, I try to bring the financials. And, that's something that we can improve upon in our next advisory board meeting. I can invite Dustin, and maybe we can get it a little bit more in depth.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, we'll move on to resolutions. Councilman Washington, would you read Resolution 3519, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Resolution 3519, Callaway Chamber of Commerce contract. A resolution authorizing the mayor and the city clerk on the behalf of the city of Fulton, Missouri, to enter into agreement with the Callaway Chamber and Commerce of Fulton, Missouri for the services to be rendered in 2024 and establish an effective date. I make a motion to adopt resolution number 3519 at this council meeting.
Okay, motion's been made and second to adopt Resolution 3519 tonight. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask for a vote.
Really quickly, I just wanted to say, I appreciate Tamara taking time to go through the contract. As you guys have seen, it's very similar to the previous year's contracts, but we cleaned it up a little bit and again, made sure that it was very streamlined, concise, and efficient. So I appreciate you taking the time to meet with the mayor and the city clerk and I to do that. And did you have any comments you wanted to add, Tamara?
So I really appreciate you all and sitting down with the mayor and Courtney and Kathy, kind of having that conversation about the contract. We added a few things in there that we feel like are important for attendance at our events, for that presence with the city and the chamber. So I appreciate the opportunity to get to do that this year, and the cooperation and the partnership that I feel like we have with the city of Fulton. Things have been really great, and I appreciate all of that. So unless y'all have any other questions for me.
Tamara, one in the weeds question. I saw 15 vouchers for the breakfast. Was that annually or each month?
So we are doing something new this year, and that is business breakfast passes. And so you all would receive that number of business breakfast passes for you all to distribute to the council or the administrative staff here, however you see fit. And that is to attend all 10 business breakfasts. So they just come in and show their pass card. It's $5 to attend that event, and we felt like it would be a lot easier if we just had some pass cards that we sold for individuals.
Thank you. I feel like the cooperation and with the chamber is better than it's been for a number of years. And I think in talking with Tamara, I think she feels the same way. I think it's a very important part of our city, and we need to support it. And I know they support us, and we're working together very closely on some projects, and so I feel real fortunate that we have the leadership there and the board that they have. So thank you. Okay, that being said, all in favor of passing Resolution 3519, please say yes.
Yes.
Oppose? Very good. Okay, we'll move on to ordinances. We have one first reading ordinance tonight. Councilman Stone, will you read Bill number 1703, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Bill number 1703, TAP Grant Federal Project number TAP 2700-512, Nichols Street. An ordinance authorizing the mayor on behalf of the city of Fulton, Missouri to execute all necessary documents in relation to the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission Transportation Alternatives Program Agreement regarding federal project number TAP 2700-512 and establishing an effective date. I make a motion to pass Bill number 1703 at tonight's meeting.
Second.
Very good. We have a motion and second. Kyle, is there anything you want to add to that?
My apologies, this is an ordinance, not a resolution. So I amend my motion to move this bill 1703 for second reading at the next scheduled council meeting.
Thank you.
And you're second.
Kyle Bremer, city engineer. Yes, I would like to say that, I'm excited that we'll be receiving $500,000. It will require a $125,000 match if we go all the way up to that $500,000 amount, grant amount. So, but this will go to rehab Nichols Street from 2nd to 4th and then from 6th to 7th. So just excited to get some federal funding to help us do some infrastructure improvements. It's transportation alternatives, but along with that, a lot of times we get new curb and gutter, storm sewer and whatnot, all the lighting that goes along with that, sidewalk and any kind of alternative transportation improvement. So just excited that we're able to get another grant. So any questions?
Kyle, is there any work that's included for the actual road, or is it just all curb and gutter?
So this
And I
is
guess
the same grant that we've used on like 4th Street, Business 54 and whatnot. So the road will be greatly enhanced. It'll look like a new road once it's done. There may be some existing elements that remain that are in good shape, but it'll greatly repair that road as well.
Okay. Well, I know since it's brick, they're from.
The brick is not part of this grant. When you get into Brick Street, that greatly increases the price, per foot of the road. So this is from 2nd to 4th Street, and then from 6th to 7th there, where on Nichols Street.
Thank you. I still had that brick in my head from 6th to 7th, so thank you.
Right,
But that,
right.
that's
Unfortunately, this grant will not.
From 4th to 6th is brick, but
Right,
thank
right.
you.
And unfortunately, this grant will not let us rehab the brick, so to speak, so we couldn't really apply for that area.
Well, again, in my head, I thought that was still brick, and I knew at one time, 2-3 years ago, we had tried to apply for a grant that was going to help us put new underlayment and undersurfacing below the
Correct.
bricks that allowed for better
Right.
seepage and
Right.
get away from the mounding and all of that. So that's where my mind
Gotcha.
went, but thank you for that clarification.
Any other questions?
Yes, Kyle. This sounds wonderful. I was glad to see that in our paperwork about where we're trying to do some improvement. And I think that program was the TAP program, is that right?
Yes, Transportation Alternative
transport-
Program.
Question that, I have on Crestwood, is that something else that we can, and that I was wondering if that's something that on Crestwood, we don't have curbs and gutters and stuff like that, and the street does need to be repaired and stuff like that. That's something that we can apply for as another grant, or, I know we
Right, like
talked
a
about-
transportation alternative grant would apply, that is a street that we could apply for a future transportation alternative grant or another grant
Yeah.
that's out there.
I know that's on top of your list of one of the things that we look in the areas, and I appreciate all the time and the work that your crew and your department has put forth, and I look forward to those things that you and I talked about earlier, about sharing those.
Right.
What the outlook and how it's going to look. So,
And I know that we've discussed Crestwood and that area for going back to that park and everything, and that's been a topic for a while,
Yeah.
now.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of passing ordinance 1703? Yes, for second reading. Please say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Okay, Councilman?
Second reading at the next schedule.
Oh, you're going to, okay, we're going to put it off. Oh, it's first reading, I'm sorry. Okay, now for second readings. Bill number 1695, the extension of capital improvement sales tax. Councilman Combs, will you read that, please?
There we go. Extension of the capital improvement sales tax, an ordinance providing for the continuation of the city's 1/2 cent capital improvement sales tax and calling for an election on such tax to be held on April 2nd, 2024. I make a motion to move bill number 1695 to third and final reading at tonight's meeting.
Motion's been made and second. I think we've discussed this. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Councilman?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Bill number 1695, extension of capital improvement sales tax. An ordinance providing for the continuation of the city's 1/2 cent capital improvement sales tax and calling for an election on such tax to be held on April 2nd, 2024. I make a motion to approve, or to pass bill number 1695 at tonight's meeting.
Motion's been made and second to advance Bill 1695 to third reading. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Hinchey? Mr. Luther?
Yes.
Ms. Nelson? Yes. Ms. Reclue? Yes. Ms. Sabacher? Yes. Mr. Stone?
Yes.
Mr. Washington? Yes. Mr. Combs? Yes. 7 council members in favor.
Thank you. I declare that passed. Councilman Washington, would you be, you got 2 there really quick. Bill number 1696 on the water rates.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Bill number 1696, water rate, an ordinance repealing Section 3 of Article 4 of ordinance number 1285-10, establishing water rates of the city of Fulton, Missouri, enacting a new Section 3 on Article 4 in lieu thereof, and establish an effective date. I make a motion that we place Bill number 1696 for third reading at this tonight's council meeting.
Second.
Very good. Bill number 1696
For third.
has had a motion and second to move on to the third reading. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Councilman?
Bill number 1696, water rates, and ordinance repealing Section 3 of Article 4 of ordinance number 1285-10, establishing water rates of the city of Fulton, Missouri, enacting a new Section 3 of Article 4 in lieu thereof, and establishing an effective date. I make a motion. I make a motion that we place Bill number 1696 for final passage at this tonight's council meeting.
Very good. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Oppose? Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir. Mr. Luther? Yes. Ms. Nelson? Yes. Ms. Reclue?
Yes.
Ms. Seebacher? Yes. Mr. Stone?
Yes.
Mr. Washington?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Hingy? 7 council members affirmative.
Thank you. Now, Councilwoman Nelson, would you read Bill number 1697, the sewer rates for us, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Bill number 1697, sewer rates, an ordinance repealing Section 2 and Section 3 of Article 4 of Ordinance number 1379-14, establishing sewer rates of the City of Fulton, Missouri, enacting new Sections 2 and 3 of Article 4 in lieu thereof, and establishing an effective date. I make a motion we place Bill number 1697 for third and final reading at tonight's meeting.
Very good. The motions have been made and second to advance 1697 to third reading. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Councilwoman?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Bill number 1697, sewer rates, an ordinance repealing Section 2 and Section 3 of Article 4 of Ordinance number 1379-14, establishing sewer rates of the City of Fulton, Missouri, enacting new Sections 2 and 3 of Article 4 in lieu thereof, and establishing an effective date. I make a motion we pass Bill number 1697 at tonight's meeting.
Motion's been made and second to pass Bill number 1697. Do we have any questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Oppose? Madam Clerk?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Ms. Nelson?
Yes.
Ms. Reclue? Yes. Ms. Seebacher? Yes. Mr. Stone?
Yes.
Mr. Washington?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Hingy? Mr. Luther?
Yes.
7 council members affirmative.
I declare it passed. Now, Councilman Luther, would you read Bill number 1698 for us, the electric rates?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Bill number 1698, electric rates for residential. An ordinance repealing ordinance number 1489-19 of the City of Fulton, Missouri, enacting a new ordinance in lieu thereof, and establishing an effective date. I make a motion to place Bill number 1698 for third reading at this council meeting.
Second.
Motion's been made and second to advance 1698 to third reading tonight. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Councilman?
All right. Bill number 1698 for electric rates, residential. An ordinance repealing ordinance number 1489-19 of the City of Fulton, Missouri, enacting a new ordinance in lieu thereof, and establishing an effective date. I make a motion to place Bill number 1698 for final passage at this council meeting.
Second.
Motion's been made and second to pass Bill number 1698. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Madam Clerk?
Ms. Reclue? Yes. Ms. Seebacher? Yes. Mr. Stone?
Yes.
Mr. Washington?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Hingy? Mr. Luther?
Yes.
Ms. Nelson?
Yes.
7 council members affirmative.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Now we'll move on to Bill number 1699. Councilman Stone, will you read that for us?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Bill number 1699, electric rates non-residential. An ordinance repealing ordinance number 1404-15, establishing electric rates of the City of Fulton, Missouri, enacting a new ordinance in lieu thereof, and establishing an effective date. I make a motion to move Bill number 1699 for third reading at tonight's meeting.
Motion's been made and second to advance 1699 for third reading tonight, and all in favor, please say aye.
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 Oppose? Councilman, would you read it again for us, please?
Bill number 1699, electric rates non-residential. An ordinance repealing ordinance number 1404-15, establishing electric rates of the City of Fulton, Missouri, enacting a new ordinance in lieu thereof, and establishing an effective date. I make a motion to pass Bill number 1699 for final reading at tonight's meeting.
Motion's been made and second to pass Bill number 1699 for tonight. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Madam Clerk, would you call roll, please?
Ms. Sabacher? Yes. Mr. Stone?
Yes.
Mr. Washington?
Yes.
Mr. Combs?
Yes.
Mr. Hinchey? Mr. Luther?
Yes.
Ms. Nelson?
Yes.
Ms. Reclue?
Yes.
7 council members affirmative.
I declare it passed. Now we have Bill number 1700, the South Winds Estate subdivision plot. Councilwoman Seebacher, would you read that for us?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Bill number 1700, Southwind Estates Subdivision Plat 8, an ordinance authorizing the mayor on behalf of the city of Fulton, Missouri to approve Plat 8 for the Southwind Estates subdivision. I make a motion to place Bill number 1700 for third reading at this council meeting.
Second.
Motion's been made and second to advance Bill number 1700. Kyle, do you have anything you want to say about that? I know they've changed the width of the street, I think.
Right, I talked with the developer and owner, and they've complied with the request that, as far as the road width and all other utility or infrastructure modifications that Daryl and I have requested. We also discussed about parking, implementing parking just on one side of the street, which would be opposite of the fire hydrants. That way, they're accessible if, hopefully they never have to be used, but if they are, they're accessible. So, is there any other questions?
Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Councilwoman, you read that again, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Bill number 1700, Southwind Estates Subdivision Plat 8, an ordinance authorizing the mayor on behalf of the city of Fulton, Missouri to approve Plat 8 for the Southwind Estates subdivision. I make a motion to place Bill number 1700 for final passage at tonight's meeting.
Okay, the motion's been made and second to pass Bill number 1700 on to final reading. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Madam Clerk, would you call a roll?
Yes, sir. Mr. Stone?
Yes.
Mr. Washington?
Yes.
Mr. Combs? Mr. Hinchey? Mr. Luther? Ms. Nelson? Ms. Reclue? Ms. Seebacher? 7 council members affirmative.
Thank you, and declare it passed. Now we have Bill number 1701, the cemetery interment process. Councilwoman Seebacher, would you read that, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Bill number 1701, Cemetery Interment Process, an ordinance repealing sections 30-60 and 30-61 Cemetery Interment Process of the Fulton City Code and enacting new sections in lieu thereof and establishing an effective date. I make a motion to place Bill 1701 for third reading at tonight's council meeting.
Okay, the motion's been made and second to advance 1701 on to third reading tonight. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Councilwoman?
One last time. Bill number 1701, Cemetery Interment Process, an ordinance repealing sections 30-60 and 30-61 Cemetery Interment Process of the Fulton City Code and enacting new sections in lieu thereof and establishing an effective date. I make a motion to place Bill 1701 for final passage at tonight's council meeting.
Very good. Bill number 1701 has been advanced for final reading and passed at tonight's meeting. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Oppose?
It's my YouTube channel.
Madam Clerk, would you?
Mr. Washington? Mr. Combs? Mr. Hinchey? Mr. Luther? Ms. Nelson? Ms. Reclue? Ms. Seebacher? Mr. Stone?
Yes.
7 council members affirmative. Thank you.
Thank you. I declare that passed. 1701. Now we move to 1702, gas rates. Councilwoman Reclus, would you read that for us, please?
Bill number 1702, gas rates, an ordinance repealing ordinance number 1606-22, establishing gas rates of the city of Fulton, Missouri, enacting a new ordinance in lieu thereof, and establishing an effective date. I make a motion that bill number 1702 be read third reading at tonight's meeting.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to advance 1702 for third reading on the gas rates. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Councilwoman, you read that again for us, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Bill number 1702, gas rates, an ordinance repealing ordinance number 1606-22, establishing gas rates of the city of Fulton, Missouri, enacting a new ordinance in lieu thereof, and establishing an effective date. I make a motion for bill number 1702 for final passage at this meeting.
Second.
Very good. The motion's been made and seconded to advance for final reading. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Madam Clerk, would you do a
Mr.
voice?
Combs? Oh, yes, sir, I'm sorry. Mr. Combs? Mr. Hinchey? Mr. Luther? Ms. Nelson? Yes. Ms. Reclus?
Yes.
Ms. Seebacher? Yes. Mr. Stone?
Yes.
Mr. Washington? 7 council members affirmative.
Very good. It's declared passed. Now we'll move on to third reading. Councilwoman Reclus, would you read bill number 1693 for us, a 2024 budget?
Mr. Mayor, just for clarity real quick, especially with our visitors, based on the previous discussions, the airport fees would be in the rate book, correct? And
Yeah.
not the budget?
No, it's not.
Good point.
All right, thank
It'd
you.
be the next.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Mayor. Bill number 1693, 2024 budget, an ordinance adapting an official budget and capital improvement program and appropriating the funds of the city for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2024, and ending December 31st, 2024. I make a motion to accept bill number, reading for 1693 for the budget at this meeting. Kind of messed up.
Second.
Thank you.
Very good. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, I think we've gone over the final adjustments and everything. We will, once this is approved, we will begin putting together the book, and you guys will receive a copy of that. And as we've talked about, we will have budget amendments in 2024, just to make sure that we always stay on track. So I appreciate everyone's work and effort that went into getting us to this point.
And I want to say also the hard work by our department heads, all. Dustin did a great job for us. Daryl, I know you worked on it really hard as well as Courtney. So I appreciate all your hard work in putting this together. This was probably one of the toughest budgets that I've seen since I've been here. And it's been a couple years. So I appreciate all your hard work. That being said, I'd like to take a vote. All in favor of passing bill number 1693, the 2024 budget, please say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Madam Clerk.
Mr. Hinchey? Mr. Luther? Yes. Ms. Nelson? Yes. Ms. Reclus?
Yes.
Ms. Seebacher? Yes. Mr. Stone?
Yes.
Mr. Washington? Yes. Mr. Combs? Yes. 7 council members affirmative.
I declare it passed. Thank you. Okay, Councilman Luther, would you read bill number 1694, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Bill number 1694, establishing a schedule of fees and charges, or rate book, an ordinance to consolidate all city fees and charges into a comprehensive schedule of fees and charges to ensure clarity and orderliness for City of Fulton staff and the citizens they serve. Based on a lot of great feedback from our citizens and keeping in mind that money goes where it is best treated, I would like to make an amendment to roll back the airport fees and keep them where they currently are until further conversations and meetings can be had for future impacts on the airport.
Very good. We have an amendment and a second, and I think we probably all understand what that is. That being said, all in favor of the amendment, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, you can read the bill now.
All right, bill number 1694, establishing a schedule of fees and charges, an ordinance to consolidate all city fees and charges into a comprehensive schedule of fees and charges to ensure clarity and orderliness for City of Fulton staff and the citizens they serve. I make a motion to place bill number 1694 as amended for final passage at this council meeting.
Second.
Okay, very good. Do we have any questions? I think we've probably
Mr.
been
Mayor,
over it.
if it's okay, Courtney, would you be able to provide clarity on what just happened so that everybody is aware of what's going to happen next?
Absolutely,
Thank
yes.
you.
So what we're going to do is, again, I want to reiterate the same way that the council has. We appreciate you guys coming tonight and expressing your concerns. Government only works when people come and we have a two-way discussion. So what has occurred now, we've amended this section of the rate book to keep the fees as they currently stand, so the fees that are currently in existence. And we will continue having discussions with you guys before we bring anything back to the city council for their consideration for inclusion in the rate book. So everything, if passed by you guys, will stand as the fees already are. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Courtney.
I believe we have a member of the Airport Advisory Committee here tonight. So if there is any questions or any concerns, would that representative, I invite that representative to come up right now and say anything, or if there is any further questions. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that representative had a chance to speak during this time. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Again, my name is Dave Hollabaugh, pilot and treasurer of the Kingdom Pilots Association. I want to make a standing offer to the city council. If anybody would like a tour of the airport, any member of the KPA would be happy to do that for you. And if you would like an airplane ride over your fair city, I can tell you that there's a number of us here that it's a standing offer, okay? We love to do it. So just get a hold of any one of us and we will make that happen. Thank you.
Yes, you do. Sure do. Yes, you do.
Can I,
Yeah.
Kyle?
I have a question, since he was on Ellie. I had a question.
David, can you come back up?
For right now, we understand the fees are not going to change. But there have to be a fee increase somehow. How much? That's what Courtney was saying. We'll get back together with you guys involved in things. So, because it's only fair, if we're raising fees for everybody else, we just can't just say, hey, you've got a free pass. So I'm just saying that, that's why I look forward to that conversation that we have with you guys to see how much we're going to do and how much change is going to be. So-
Right, and I think we understand that. We know there hasn't been a fee increase for 4 years. Our concern was more of the methodology. And again, we're talking about revenue to the airport. What other sources of revenue are there for the airport, and do they need to be looked at more closely?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kyle?
I just wanted to add something real quick. Pretty recently, our airport was packed full of young future flyers. And, KPA led, got all those folks, all those kids that did a right flight. They did exactly what Dave offered to you. They took them up in planes, showed them, our airport. And it was just wonderful to see our airport being packed and used like it was. So just appreciate the KPA and all that they do.
Thank you. And I want to say I have toured the airport several times in the last 6 months, so I am kind of familiar with it out there, so. Haven't ridden a plane yet, but I do like to ride, not fly. But. Okay. That being said, all in favor of bill number 1694?
As amended. As amended.
As amended, please say yes.
Yes?
Yep.
Oppose? Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir. Mr. Luther? Yes. Ms. Nelson? Yes. Ms. Reclue? Yes. Ms. Sabacher? Yes. Mr. Stone?
Yes.
Mr. Washington? Yes. Mr. Combs? Yes. And Mr. Hinchey. 7 council members affirmative. Thank you.
I declared that bill passed. I bet you can almost read that without looking at the paper, can't you? I'm glad we were able to get a lot of these loose ends wrapped up tonight, going into the new year. And Tamara, thank you very much for all you do. Announcements, candidate filing is open daily through December 26th from 8 to 6. I want to make a correction there. That is Monday through Friday, 8 to 6.
8 to 5.
Not
8 to 5,
daily.
sir. 8
Not
to 5.
weekends.
8 to 5.
8 to 5, I'm sorry. Kathy and I talked about that before. I think there was a lawsuit in Columbia over that very wording. So it is Monday through Friday, not daily. City Hall, Legends, Recplex, and Solid Waste Department will be closed on the following dates in observance of the upcoming holidays. That'll be December the 25th and January the 1st. Our next council meeting will be January the 9th at 6:30.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
can I ask the DOA to make an announcement to those present as well as those watching about our recycling adjustments that we made during the holiday season?
Certainly.
Gladly. Okay, so if you have taken a look at our social media, you're probably aware we have some large recycling containers that have been set at the warehouse, and I believe also at the police station. Thank you, Daryl. For a period of about a week ago, all the way into the first week of January. So we're excited to be able to do that and assist people with disposing of their recyclable materials through the holiday season. We will continue with our standard schedule, which involves both recycling and yard waste through the end of this year, and we're looking to streamline that for next year, again, to make sure that we can maybe come to you. So if you have recyclables, you are welcome to take them to the police station or to the warehouse facility to dispose of those items.
Okay, anything else? Any other announcements anyone has? That being said, we don't have a need for an executive session. We will have one next Tuesday night at 5:30, I think we decided, to do interviews for the director's position. And I would call for an adjournment. All in favor? Thank you all very much tonight. We had a lot to go through.
Merry
We went through
Christmas,
it
Happy
quickly, but
Hanukkah.
I think we